Hi guys, King79 here, and back with a review, with a Generation 1 review, which as you've probably seen, Motorvator Lightspeed. This little chap here. I'll start the review in a moment, but before I do, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody, because I've hit 200 subs, which is rather awesome, so thank you so much for that. To everybody who's subbed for me for the last sort of 4 years or so, and glad you like my waffling reviews about vintage toys, and I'm sure there will be many more in the future for you to peruse all over. But thank you again. I did think about doing some sort of cool 200 subs special video, like a lot of people have done, but unfortunately I just had a bit of a creative block for what to come up with. I have got a couple of ideas, but I think I'll save them for another landmark figure of subs, if I ever get there. I may never hit 250 subs, I may never hit 300, so we'll see. But anyway, so apologies for not doing something particularly special. This is just a review, but it's a cool toy. It's something that's very quirky, quite unusual, which is this chap here. This I was basically given it by Helen of the Melon for giving her a lift to Auto Assembly last year. So this chap and a few other G1 bits and bobs was in a sort of bag of bits that she basically said I could have, which was cool. Didn't have his sword, which I picked up at a later date, but he's very nice. As you'll see in the review, I recorded the review earlier when there was still daylight outside, because obviously my lighting's pretty crap for doing reviews in the evening, as we've seen on previous videos. But as you'll see in the review, he's actually a G1 bot that I didn't know a great deal about, because he came sort of after the Action Masters were released, and by that time I kind of drifted away from Transformers. So anything sort of the real latter part of G1, almost G1.5 and G2, I don't have a great deal of knowledge of. So it was cool to find a G1 bot that I didn't have and didn't really know about, or didn't know about at all, as you will see. But anyway, we'll go ahead and crack on with the review. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again, as I said, for everyone who watches these videos, everyone who's subbed, and I will endeavour to do more reviews soon, because it's been a bit slow of late. The Boglins have taken over the channel, but now I've reclaimed it, so there will be more reviews. Okay guys, enjoy the review. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here is Motorvator Lightspeed in his alt mode, his Ferrari mode, and there's his little accessory he comes with. Yeah, he's a nice vehicle mode. So it's got rubber tyres, and as I mentioned earlier, unfortunately my one is not 100% complete because it's missing two rubber tyres, but I've been wanting to review this guy for ages, and I'm just not having any joy in picking up the tyres, and I thought I'll just go ahead and do the video, because I just want to have a talk about the toy really. So yeah, Red Friar Testarossa. This is his Energon companion. Unlike the Headmasters and the Target Masters, the Motivators the companions didn't have individual names, to my knowledge. As I say, this line came out in '91, the Motivators, which was Lightspeed, Flame, and gosh, I can't remember the other one's name. Is it Gripper or something like that? But yeah, they came out in '91 in Europe and elsewhere, because obviously they were based on the original Brain Masters, part of Takara's line during the Victory series. So that came out, was that '89? So these came out a couple of years later in Europe in '91. Now, as I sort of alluded to earlier, I had no knowledge of this particular line, because by the time '91 came around, I'd drifted away from Transformers. The Action Masters kind of killed it off for me, and I got into other things like video games and Games Workshop Warhammer stuff, so I drifted away from Transformers, so I had no knowledge of these guys originally coming out. So when I was sort of given this figure, I was very intrigued, because
it's a G1 figure. It's not G2. And yeah, I didn't really know much about it because I'm a big fan of Headmasters and Target Masters and Power Masters and everything with little small companions like this little dude here. So yeah, a little bit of looking into it, and yeah, he's a very cool little figure. It only comes with this. It's just the figure and the bot and the one accessory. You can sort of stick this in here if you want to. Some bizarre sort of thing, because obviously it's like a gun sword combined. If it had a port, I mean that doesn't fit it, but if it had a port that's pegged there, you could maybe put it on the top there, but you can't do that, so you can have it on there or stick it on the side like that if you want. But basically when they were in the Brainmaster series for Takara, the 3 bots, their weapons would combine into one large weapon, but you don't get. Well, basically, it's a 3-bot Gestalt with the three Brainmasters, but you didn't get the extra bits to make the combiner with these guys. So effectively, you just had the weapon with with this bizarre bit sticking out. But anyway, yeah, let's look closer of the car. It is a very nice car mode. It's pretty big, and you can also, as with like the Headmasters before, you can have this little dude sit inside, which is a nice little touch. And go for a nice Sunday drive in the forest and not worry about fighting Decepticons. But anyway, we'll go ahead and transform into robot mode. Okay, transformation is very simple for a bot of this sort of size. You literally, obviously, you're going to pop him out of here. Literally, the back of the vehicle comes apart to be his legs, like so. Then that folds down like that. His hands pop up. Hands pop up like that. There we go. Da, 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 da. Okay, so that's basically it. For his gimmick, you basically just open up the whole chest compartment there, and you've got a big hollow gap. Pop the energon dude in there like so, like that, and as you close that up, you can see that his face appears. Pop that in his hand, and you're good to go. But he's a quirky little thing, and it was cool to add him to the collection. But they do go for very silly money. Complete. I mean, this guy is not complete. He's missing his rubber tyres. He's a little bit beat up. But you can find them going online for. Well, our auto assembly, there were ones in good condition, but we were missing the swords for going for 30 quid. You see sellers on eBay asking for twice that complete. I don't think he's really worth that. You can get one of the Headmasters, which are, in my opinion, quite a lot better for cheaper than that sort of £60 mark. But yeah, I mean, I bought this weapon individually just to complete, well, not to complete him because he's missing rubber tyres, but to make him more complete. Whether that's worth a tenner is, I shall leave that up to you. But he's cool. He sits with my sort of G1 oddities shelf with some G2 bits and pieces. And at some point, I'd like to get the rubber tyres. I think the only way I'm going to do that is if I find like a loose one of these with bits, in a bit beat up at auto assembly one year. I did try and have a look last year, but didn't have much joy. And yeah, I wouldn't mind picking up the other two at some point because they're kind of quirky. They're cool. I like the companion gimmick and the fact he can ride in the vehicle in car mode. It's just something a bit different, really. And it was, I would say I'm quite not an expert, but I do know my G1 stuff, and to find a G1 bot I had no knowledge of was kind of cool. So anyway, that is G1 Motorvator Lightspeed from 1991. hope you liked the review, and I shall be back with some more G1 reviews soon. I've picked up a few odds and ends in the last couple of weeks, so hopefully I can get some more reviews up and running soon. But thanks for watching, and thanks again, as I said at the start of the video, thanks again to all 200 of my subs, and for everyone who's been watching me waffle about plastic crack for the last 4 and a bit years. And here's to many more silly toy reviews. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.